Welcome, guys, to the third upload. I'm Anime Alex, and I'm coming here with chapter 25 of the Fairy Tale 100-Year Quest. Things got really heated. Not in the good way. Or I guess in a kind of a good way if you're like that, but not in a fight way. Anyways, so when we last left off, they were in search for the wood dragon god Alderaan, and they were headed towards Tekka city. In order to get to Tekka, they had to go through train because that was the fastest way, and they stopped by Drasil, which is the largest city of Giltina. As the crew basically kind of squabble amongst themselves with Natsu not wanting to ride the train, and he was suggesting running, and Urza carrying way too much luggage to run. They got they got stared or kind of stalked by the townspeople, and even a kid runs up to Urza and calls her Miss Ericus. So we know that these people all are the crew already have lookalikes. In page 6, we see that an Urza-like character, which is Miss Ericus, she has glasses on, basically comes up behind the people and takes them to a place called Fairy Nail. Which this is all weird because this feels like we're in Edalis, only in Giltina, and and we don't know why Miss Ericus asked to come asked them to come with them to the to her talent guild, because that's what Fairy Nail is. We don't know why Fairy Nail has so much like is like fairy tale, but we're probably going to get into those in the next few chapters. Anyways, the people or the group is all confused about what the hell is Fairy Nail. And when Miss Ericus is showing them around, they were making the crew was making fun of how Urza and Miss Ericus looks alike, but Miss Ericus then shows that there's a lot of lookalikes and a lot of counterparts from their guild over at Fairy Tale, which this is awkward. This feels like a setup. Anyways, we get to see Natsu's lookalike is Naku, and he is a actor. Like he's the top actor in the guild. His manager is the Lucy lookalike called Lucia, and everyone's just all crazy. Like apparently Naku is very like abusive towards Lucia, because you see him like have one of those like high class snobby tantrums to her, with him not wanting to perform a role, like act a role. We see the Greys look alike, Glenn, and apparently he's a male pole dancer. So yes, Gray is a male stripper. Yes, we know that Gray strips unintentionally in his guild, but this Gray strips for money in this guild, and apparently says that displaying yourself naked is one form of art. And we see Juvia is accompanied by Gray or Glenn. The Juvia lookalike is accompanies Glenn, and the Juvia lookalike is called Juvina, and she's a topless dancer too, so she's a stripper too. Gray, as we can see, Gray in the panel is having sweat behind his head. Like the sweat drops behind his head, and he's saying, "Don't you dare imagine it." So we see that Glenn and Juvina are in a relationship, as Glenn calls Juvina darling, and they exchange like flirtatious text. We see Wendy's counterpart her name is Wendell, and she's a child actress. Apparently she's a genius, like a genius child actress, as the text says, and she can make different faces in zero point 0.5 seconds flat. So we see multiple panels of her like just changing faces. Um, Meanwhile, Happy and Charlotte basically ask if they have any Xseed counterparts, and we see that there's an idol named Charlotte, which looks like Charla in her human form, and she has a cat named Bappy, which is Happy's other form, and we see that there's a black cat named Vivi, which is Panther Lily's other counterpart. So Charlotte has two cats named Bappy and Happy, which look exactly like Panther Lily and Happy, only put on real cat bodies. We see that Gajil and Levy's um, counterparts are Gazelle and Lizzie, which are a husband and wife comedy duo. And the group is kind of questioning husband and wife, so it's kind of alluring that Gajil and Levy are a canon thing, and they just don't know it. Uh, the models Mina Jane and Lizala are the counterparts to Mira and Lizana, Lizala, they basically just don't change because they're models both in Fairy Tale and in Fairy Nail, so they didn't change. Elfman is a makeup specialist, or Elfman's counterpart is a makeup specialist called Elfman, and he looks like he's a crossdresser. He has like all makeup on himself while he's big and muscly. We see that the Loxus and the Thunder Legion uh are their counterparts are a rock band which are called Lacris and the Thunderlords. The counterpart of Loxus is the lead singer. Big Slow is on the drum. The counterpart of Big Slow is on the drums. The counterpart of Evergreen is on the bass guitar, and the counterpart of Freed looks like he plays the guitar. We don't know the names for Big Slow, Freed, and Evergreen's counterparts, but we know that they're a band. Uh, Kana's counterpart name is Kara, and she's a leg model. And here's where things go way too far. Apparently, Loki's counterpart is Loki with an I instead of an E, and he is a male porn star. And so Wendy asked the question, like Wendy says porn star in a text bubble with a question mark, basically letting you guys know that Wendy doesn't know what a porn star is, and Lucy underneath that text bubble says you don't need to know with an all worried text bubble. So it's this was all weird. Ericus introduces herself as a stage actress, and Miss Ericus is needing help because she doesn't know how to portray love. And Urza gets an idea, and she's saying how she used to be like a great actress, and she was wanting to help out Miss Ericus. So, while this is all going on, we see Naku go up to Lucina, very abusive, and says that she needs to be punished. Lucy gets pissed off at this and tries to go and basically give Naku a piece of her mind. And then when she goes in there, when she goes in there, she then turns around and is all blushed. And apparently, Naku and Lucina are a thing, and they get really intimate. Again, this is going way too far into fan service. Apparently, they get really intimate, and even Miss Erica says they do it in the guild. They're intimate in the guild from time to time, like in front of everyone, which is really weird. And I was like, wow, Fairy Tale. Whew. Anyways, so Miss Ericus is looking down, kind of upset that she's never really experienced love, and Urza basically says, Urza is cheering her up, saying it's okay if you haven't experienced it. And Gray in the next panel, or in a few panels over, Gray is basically saying not like you have any much experience either, Urza. And then Lucy says to Gray that Gray doesn't have any experience. And then Happy goes to Lucy saying that they don't have any experience, and it's just completely funny. In the next panel, they're at the train, and the group is all just ready to depart for Tekka. Gray apparently has Juvia on his mind, and he's saying he's just reminiscing about love, and then he has Juvia in his mind saying, "My dear Gray," and I thought that was pretty cute. Is showing that Gray is secretly in love with Juvia, just doesn't want to admit it, and they notice Urza's looking down at herself, and Wendy asks if she's all right. All the other group says what have or asked her what have they been talking about with Miss Ericus, and then it soon turns out that Miss Ericus was actually posing as Urza, while Urza stayed behind and took Miss Ericus's place to play an actress for her play, which everyone in the crowd hated it. So Miss Urkus's reputation's probably like ruined by Urza, and Urza looks very confident in herself, like she did a good job. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this chapter. I mean, it was funny. It was crazy, but it's just like I don't really know how to feel about it. I mean, it sets up interesting stuff. I don't know whether to give it a 4 or a 5, but I will let you guys decide on that. Anyways, I hope you like this review, this triple upload today. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.